Good evening, everyone, and welcome once again to IG8Live Esports. We're once again live with SLIPSTREAM Racing League Sunday Division, and I think this is round 4, possibly. I'm not sure what round number we're on, or I'm not even keeping track of that at the moment. But it's on for the Dutch Grand Prix, I think it is, in the Netherlands here, so should be quite an interesting session. We got a full grid of 20 drivers here, and it means when I'm getting my controller. All right, there we go. So we got a full grid of 20 drivers in this, and let's see, we do have a few cars currently heading out on track here, and currently we're on with a draft at the moment in the Williams there. Getting wrong on his outlap here, going to be quite an exciting race. This one I can tell you right now. I think we're looking forward to an interesting qualifying to get through for. So we're on the qualifying one. Already getting started with our 18-minute session, down to about 16 minutes already as it is. So in the meanwhile, we're getting through this. Welcome to everyone currently joining us live on the stream here. Very happy to have you guys on. Hopefully everyone enjoys the stream and the commentary to go along with it. We're going to have a look at the current standings after last week's race. It's already been updated. Thanks to the guys for getting that done, so we can have that graphic up on screen pretty soon. And we'll have a quick look at that and see where the driver standings are currently at and where the constructor standings are currently at. And I'll tell you, I have a look at it earlier today, and it looks quite interesting so far. So I think this race here is going to be a bit important as well in terms of both championships, I gotta say, for the drivers and constructors. So I think everyone's going to be looking to making some points in this race, and we'll see how well that's going to go on through. Hopefully a pretty good start to the race as well. As you know, here in the Netherlands, it's a pretty short run getting down into turn 1, and it's going to get a little bit messy from time to time during this session. We'll see what's going to happen, though. These guys tend to keep it a bit clean getting through the session, so we're looking forward to some pretty exciting racing getting through. Right now we're still in the qualifying one. Let's see what the lap times are going to look like. We do have a few cars currently on hot laps here, so we're going to start to see some lap times pretty soon, possibly just over a minute, a few seconds after that. And I mean, a few seconds per lap time, so we'll see what it's going to look like. But I think it's going to get quite close getting down to the end of qualifying one. We'll see if that's going to be the case or not. We're still on the draft at the moment, and I'll tell you why we're still on with him in just a bit. When we do bring the standings up, you guys can have a look and see why we actually chose to go on that. Mostly because he went out, was one of the first cars out as well, as he gets on back to the start-finish straight there. That final turn a bit tricky for some cars to get around as well. So a 110.1 so far there for drafting the Williams. That's only lap time in so far. Let's see where the rest of our drivers are. We got Tucker getting around the final turn right about now and about to put in a lap time here. Let's see how good it's going to be. And currently it's a 114.0. Not the best lap there. He needs to improve on that. We got Stu B there, 111.6. Puts him up in the second for now. We'll see what's going to happen. Walker here getting around the track at the moment. He's still in I think in sector 1, getting into sector 2 right about now. So I think we're waiting for some more drivers to get some lap times in. We got a purple sector coming off from Walker's lap time so far as he gets through sector 2. Want to see what the sector 3 time is going to look like. He's driving in the AlphaTauri there. For quite a few more guys currently running on track at the moment. So this is going to get a bit tricky for a few drivers. We'll see how well they get through this. They're going to might be getting into a bit of traffic as a lot of cars on the grid at the same time here, as we still got at least half and half at the moment, I'll say, going on through the track. So not overly busy, but still these guys do need to be a bit careful about this at the moment. And getting through sector 3 now doesn't look like it was a proper sector 2, but could potentially still be a pretty impressive lap here from Walker as he gets around that final turn. As I said, very tricky getting around the wrong line. Could lead to an invalidated lap or a DNF for a session. And that's second fastest so far. 110.4 for him. We got excess going at 110.6. Only 2 tenths down from Walker's time, and he's down in P3 there, and that's in the next Williams. So Williams looking pretty strong at the start of the qualifying session. We're going to see where the rest of the session holds off for them. Robbie here in the house at the moment. Let's see where he goes. Purple sector 1 on that lap so far. Let's see what sector 2 is going to be as he gets around here at the moment. It looks like he is flying around the track right now, so definitely looking at potentially getting a pretty good time. And Vintage went into 6 or 114.5 there, and let's see how long that's going to hold there, because I'm quite sure he's going to go and get a faster time in. A 112.6 from Tucker so far. Going to still try and improve on that as much as he can here and go on board just a bit of Robbie as he gets through into sector 2. Looks like it was a purple sector 2 as well, so looking pretty good. Might be potentially be trying to get a fastest lap in the qualifying session here. Looks like Chris goes up the 4th fastest right now, 111.2. We're on with Rob, who goes across the line fastest in the session by a 10th, and it's a 110.043. Pretty impressive lap from him, and that's going to hold off at least for now. We got Glock here in the Mercedes getting it wrong. Where is he? Getting through sector 1 right now. So let's switch it on over to VRL Smitty right now, who is getting around through sector 3. And looks like he lost the front wing from the car, so had a bit of an issue there. His teammate here, Clark here in the next McLaren, getting through, now getting into sector 3, gets a purple sector 2, not sure what the sector 1 time actually had looked like, but we're going to have a look on how he finishes off this lap. Just keep on the overhead cam here and have a look on how this goes through. We're getting somewhere where at least close to half of the grid have now caught their lap times in. 8 drivers from the time so far with a 20. We got Scooby out of the session, unfortunately not going to get a lap time, might have to start down 28. And Clark now going fastest in the session at 109.9, even at 10 faster than what Robbie did, or about a 10 faster, approximately about that, but still pretty impressive and still pretty close by to what the other drivers on track currently have. So we're getting into the 109s already here in Q1. Quite excited to see what qualifying 3 is going to hold for us, but let's finish off with this session here and get on with Neil at the moment. Where is he on track? He's getting through sector 1 now, so I think Glock should be getting through sector 3. Goes fastest now, 109.7, 2/10 faster than what Glocky did, putting the bar even higher for the rest of the drivers currently on track here. Let's have a look who else is getting through. Cody here gets a purple sector 1 so far. I think Neil might be somewhere just behind of him coming on through there. So let's keep on with the Aston Martin driver, see where he goes at the end of this lap. His teammate Chris currently 7th on the grid and looking pretty good with that time. Of course, right now we need top 15 going over to qualifying 2, or approximately top 15 or even top 14 if Scooby's out early. Might cause a little bit of an incident with that, not sure. But I'll be in the top 14 to keep it safe at this point here right now. Not an invalidated lap so far, but might still be a pretty good lap here in not purple sectors. But let's see what's going to happen. It was a purple sector 1, not a purple sector 2, but could potentially still get a purple sector 3. And looks like Robbie is retired from the session. Pretty happy with his 110.043 there. Good. Aston Martin goes across the line just ahead of his teammate at 110.7, and it's going to hold there for now at least. We're going to go on with Paige here, who was got driver of the day for the previous race session last week. So looking to get possibly that again, or even possibly get onto a podium position here. I think she finished 5th the last time, so let's see what's going to happen in this instance here. As let's see, on a hot lap or not. Yeah, on the hot lap right about now. Let's see what the lap time is going to look like. So guys, so far so good here in qualifying 1. Still got I think a decent amount of time left. As soon as that graphic gets off the screen, probably be able to see how much time is actually left here in the session. Alright, so we got Paige getting around the final turn right about now and gets across the line in just a few seconds time. Let's see how fast this lap is going to be. And it's a 113.1, not the fastest lap on track here. Going to have to try that one again. Has enough time, 8 minutes 54 seconds left in the session. So still quite a lot of time for drivers to get around here. Let's see what's going to happen as we continue on in the session. We got Mikey on an outlap, Smitty on another outlap. We got Tyler and Mr. Rage on outlaps. Everyone probably on an outlap right about now. Beef is still in the pits. We got Neil back into the pits. Let's see what's going to happen in that case. We're on with VRL Smitty right about now in the McLaren, as we're going to keep an eye with him, on board with him as he gets through this lap here. Short run down into turn 1, a bit of a heavy braking zone as well. Got to be careful through that and watch that curve as they get on through, and just get through to turn 2 and 3 very quickly here, but got to be careful, especially on the opening lap of a race. And this is a very dangerous part, as the angle of this turn makes it that much more fun to watch cars get on through during the race itself. So we'll see how these guys handle it all, as it's a lot of twists and turns here for the Dutch Grand Prix at Netherlands. So going to be quite an interesting race. I think I might wait on maybe until qualifying 2. We'll probably have a look then maybe at the standings, or maybe into qualifying 3. We'll just wait and see when it's an appropriate time to have a quick look at that. And probably bring it back up maybe during the race, during safety car, if we do have one. If we're expecting one at this point, I'm not sure what you guys are expecting. Also, I didn't actually ask us yet, but can one of the drivers please let us know what the weather conditions are going to be for the race session itself? Is if it's going to be dry all the way through, or if we do expect maybe a bit of rain during the course of the race session itself. We'll see what is going to be coming through for that, because I'm not sure as yet. Right now it's looking pretty dry here for qualifying. I think it's going to stay that way for the next 7.5 minutes that we have remaining in the session. And Smitty goes across the line with a 112.1. goes into 11th with that so far. Let's see what the rest of the grid got going on right about now. Mr. Rage here in the Red Bull, getting through Sector 3. Let's see if he's flying through this lap here or not. As he gets around the final turn, that bit of parabolic that we have there. Onto that start finish straight, and he goes across the line. How does he get across? And 128.2, not the best of lap. Really gonna have to try that one again. There are a few drivers out of the session here already, waiting to see where the rest of them are going to be at the end of this. Got Neil on an out lap here. He's about to get started on a lap, so I think we're gonna have a look on the overhead cam with the Mercedes driver here. See where he puts his car at the end of this lap here. His teammate Glock currently second on the grid with this to get over into qualifying 2. Got just under 6.5 minutes left. There's still a lot of time for these guys to work with, but they're going to have to be just a bit careful with this. And it takes a bit of that curve, and actually you have to be a bit careful with that as well, because just depending on how much power you're applying on that car, it could potentially lead to a spin. So they have to just be just a bit careful here. But so far, looking pretty good. So I think qualifying 1 has been going decently well so far. So as we're on it here, guys, remember we are currently live on YouTube, Twitch, and Facebook. All links to the other platforms we're streaming on at live at the moment will be in the description of this video. So do check it out. Make sure you guys are subscribed to us on YouTube, follow us on Twitch, and follow us on Facebook as well there. And I do appreciate you guys doing that. And make sure you guys do leave a like on this video. Alright, so we haven't seen, I don't think we've seen the purple sector so far, but let's see where this lap is going to go as the Mercedes driver is about to get across the line. So Neil goes 9th fastest, a 111.1. Pretty impressive lap still. Looks like it's good enough to get him over into qualifying 2 at this point. But if he's still in the pits, has not come out on track as yet for the entire session. Got about 5 minutes left right about now. I think he might wait another 2 minutes before actually getting out here and doing a lap. He usually likes to wait until the very last few minutes before getting out. So as we have it so far with the grid order, it looks like Draft is still fastest in the session at 109.4. Glock second fastest, 109.7. 37, 300. Oh, and that's the Mercedes out there. Unfortunately, Neil is out of the session. That's a pretty bad crash, and hopefully he can get that repaired in time. If he does make it over to qualifying 2, we do have Beefy and Extremis still yet to set lap times here, and a bit of dangerous on track here as we have quite a bit of carbon fiber there as well. So he's gonna be off of that. Got about 4 drivers down at the bottom here who are going to try to get out of that danger zone. Chris already retired from the session in 15. Kind of an off and on spot here in terms of getting over to qualifying 2 at this point, because Scooby was off pretty early in the session. Might cause a bit of a change with that, so we're not sure yet what's going to happen in that case. So on to be here. Where is he? In a Red Bull. I think he's on for another lap. 111.666. Does he go faster? No, doesn't seem like he did. Might be trying for another lap here though as he gets around on that. So we'll see how that's going to work out, and possibly just keep overhead with the Red Bull for the time being. And let's see what the rest of the session holds. It has a bit of a spin and keeps the car from going into the barriers on the side. So still can possibly get another lap going here. And now actually potentially possibly took some damage here. Doesn't look like he's very good at reversing. Didn't take any damage actually, but still kind of a sloppy reverse. Throwing the car all the way into the barriers on the side. Could have taken some damage and not been able to do another lap here. Let's see if he's going to do another lap on that. We're still waiting for a few of these drivers who should be getting out of the pits at some point, down to just about 3 minutes, 2 seconds or so right about now. Beefy and Extremis, still no laps from these two as yet. So waiting to see what's going to happen. Are they planning on starting at the back of the grid? I'm not entirely sure, but we'll see what the situation is going to be there. Alright, and there we go. So we finally have Extremist and Beefy getting out on track. Where's Beefy? I think Beefy's in front of him. Let's have a look with him here in the AlphaTauri. His teammate way up on the grid there in P7 right about now. So let's see where he goes when he gets this lap going here. Let's see if we're going to see any purple sectors or not. He needs to get that car over into qualifying 2 at this point here. Teammate is going to be pretty upset if he doesn't. I'm quite sure of that, because they're definitely looking to get some points in for the constructors as well. And he does need to get some more points for the Drivers' Championship. We're going to have a look at that, as I said, in just a bit before the qualifying session is over. Not before Q1 is over, maybe before Q3. It's where kind of where usually I bring this up at the start of qualifying 3. So let's give this a bit and see what's going to happen here, as he's getting started on the lap here right now. Let's see when he gets through by the end of Sector 1 what that lap is going to look like. Got Paige on another lap there as well. Let's see where she goes at the end of this. Extremist on an out lap, now getting started on his half lap, and hopefully gets a pretty good lap in. We'll see what's going to happen. As I said, so Tucker looks like he's out of qualifying unless he gets a qualifying 2, unless he gets a faster lap in here. Chris definitely might be out. I'm quite sure one of these guys are going to get a faster lap than a 110 here, so we're looking at putting them somewhere up in the top 10 here. At least a 111 would be good enough at this point. Cody in a dangerous spot there of being knocked out as well. Not sure about Vintage just yet. Let's see. We've got 4 drivers down at the bottom here trying to get faster times in. Let's see where they're going to go. Is Tucker trying for a lap? Looks like he is trying for a lap. So, yeah, that's going to put Cody in a bit of a dangerous spot here as well. Not sure about Vintage. He might just be getting knocked out as well. Beef is getting across the line. He goes 8 fastest, 110.2. That's just gonna do it at this point here right now. On with the Extremist here. Where is he on track? Getting through Sector 3 right about now. I want to see what his lap time is gonna look like as he gets across the line in just a bit. Make sure he uses that DRS advantage and gets across the line. 12 fastest, 111.4. That's just going to do it for him as well. We got Tucker getting across the line here right about now. Currently at 112.6. Does he improve? And it doesn't look like he does. A 112.6 is what he sticks with, down to 18th. Where is Paige on the grid here? About to get across the line. Let's see if she's going to improve on this current lap. A 113.1 and doesn't get an improved lap there. And I think that's going to be it for her as well. Where's Vintage on track? Is he trying to get on a lap? And I'm not sure. Tucker here on a lap still. Qualifying 1, definitely over here right now. Only who's currently on a lap will be able to finish it. And then that's going to be it. Looks like Mikey made it all the way up into 3rd on the grid. Clarky up to 5th. Mr. Ray stuck there in 4th. Glock still in 2nd. Droff still fastest. Bobby down to 6th and Walker in 7th. Looks like Beefy now goes up into 7th. Walker down to 8th. So both AlphaTauri side by side with the lap times as it is. Let's see if Tucker's going to get a faster lap, as he might be the final one to try and get a lap in. Not sure if Vintage is still on a lap or not. And Clarky as well, possibly trying to get a faster lap in. His teammate down in 11th. Looks like both McLarens should be getting over into qualifying 2 at this point. But let's see how this session will finish off. Gets across the line, and that's it, guys. He's now going to be improving on that current lap there. Let's go over to Clarky, only driver currently running on track here. Looks like he is trying to finish the lap, but unfortunately just gets off track into the gravel. Saves the car from DNFing, but still not going to be able to finish that lap. He's going to get back into the pits there. That's going to be it. Yeah, just drive across the line. There you go. There you go. Good driver. Good driver. And he finishes off the session. Would have upsetted the commentator if he didn't go across the line instead of going into the pits. Takes longer to get out the session that way. Alright, so there we go. So, fastest guy here for qualifying 1 in a Sunday division of Slipstream Racing dropped there. Gets a 109.4, and that holds up pretty well. Glock there 2nd fastest. Mikey there 3rd. Mr. Rage 4th. Clarky 5th. Robbie 6th. Beefy 7th. Walker 8th. We got XS 9th, Tyler in 10th, Smitty 11th, Extremist 12th, and that's only 12 drivers going over to qualifying 2. What on earth is happening with this game and doing that? I don't know. It just depends on how much drivers DNF the session. That it kind of makes a determination on how many drivers go over to qualifying 2. So that kind of explains why that's happening. So it looks like we're going to have Cody start 13, Neil 14, and the rest of them as they are there. We'll go over the starting grid during the formation lap in this session. So let's head over to qualifying 2 and see how that session is going to go. And it's going to be 2 drivers out of that. We need the top 10 actually to go over to qualifying 3. Okay, so over into qualifying 2 right about now. We got about 40 minutes left on the clock here already. When I get a few stats up on screen, and let's switch this off to whoever's currently running out on track. Not sure what buttons I'm pressing right about now. Anyway, let's get lap data on, and we're going to put tires on, of course. We want to see what tires these guys are planning to qualify to start the race on here, if they do make it up to the top 10. Because remember, qualifying 2, whatever tires they do set the fastest laps on, they have to start the race on that set of tires, provided they make it over to qualifying 3, and it is a dry race start. Wet race start does leave them to be starting on the inters or full wets, depending on what the situation actually requires. So currently we have a few cars on the mediums, a few cars on the soft, bit of a mix of the strategy. We'll see what it's going to be. I think it's about 30 something laps with the race, probably 39 or something. I'm not even sure. I can't remember how much it has said during the lobby session. But we'll see about that when you get over to the race session itself. We got VRL Smitty here about to get started on his lap. XS in front of him already started on that lap already. And he's, how far away is he? Quite a way out in front in the Williams here. Let's see where he's going to be. His teammate drop there was fastest over in qualifying 1. Let's see who's going to be fastest here in qualifying 2. So far looking pretty good. Of course, all purple sectors, because no one has set a lap as yet, so we're still waiting for some sort of lap time to start coming, which is going to come in pretty quickly. As you saw, 110 point something was usually what the lap times range with during qualifying 1, so we expect kind of the same around here, and if maybe a few 109s, 108s. We'll see how fast these guys are going to get as they continue through the session. A few more cars out on track here at the moment. We got getting out on out laps. I think at least half of the grid out so far, where we currently have. And since currently not a lot of cars, so not a lot of traffic on track, they're on board with excess as he gets across the line. 110.7. Let's see how well that's going to hold up going back on with VRL Smitty right about now as he gets across the final turn here to go across the line. Let's see where he goes. Look like it might have been a good lap, not sure. Gets a 112.5 actually, not the best of lap there. Needs to improve that. Let's go with Extremist. And Tyler here, see where these two are at. Where's Tyler? He's in front. So we're going to keep on with Callum Tyler here in the Alpine and see where he goes by the end of this. And he has a bit of a spin into the barriers there. Might have taken some minor damage to that car. We're going to switch off from him, go over to Extremist. He's going to possibly have to get onto a next set of tires and then try that lap, or he might try it on the same set. Who knows? We'll see what's going to happen. And looks like Tyler's disqualified from the session for going the wrong way. Not sure if he actually went the wrong way or a bit of a glitch that got him disqualified, but he is definitely out. That looks like we might end up having maybe 9 drivers go over to qualifying 3. I hate when that happens, but it's just the way the game actually makes it go, so we're going to have to just let it be. We're going to switch on to Walker next. Let's see, Extremist goes across the line here. Fastest in the session at 110.782, literally 100th of a second faster than... and he's out. That lap time is not going to hold, and was a pretty good time. It's not going to hold now, because he didn't make it back to the pits. There's a Red Bull stop just in front of him. I wonder if that was Mr. Rage there. I tell you, yeah, he definitely was. I'm not sure. Is he having a look? We're trying to have a look on board with what he was doing there. Walker now goes up fastest though, a 110.4. He's about a 10 faster what Excess has. It was a pretty good lap from Extremist though, but Excess did improve his lap there still. Let's go on with Draft here, currently on a lap. See where he's going to put this car. So his team is currently second fastest on the grid. And we do have Beefy in this as well. So his team is currently fastest on the grid as it is. So let's see what's going to happen by the end of Q2. 10 minutes left in the session. Still a lot of time for these guys to work with. And try to get some better lap times in here as much as they can. Also guys, please feel free to share the stream link out to anyone who might wish to watch whatever the heck it is we're doing here. Family members, friends, whatever it may be. Alright, so we got Draft about to get across the line. Will he go fastest in the session? It's a 109.9. Does go fastest in the session. And I think that's going to hold pretty well for now. Let's see if he's going to be doing a repeat of what happened over in qualifying 1. We're going to get on with Clarky here in the McLaren, about to get across the line as well. Goes third fastest, 110, 110.5, 6 tenths faster than Excess there. Pretty good lap from him. Robbie in the Haas, and where is he on track? Getting a purple sector 1 right about now. So looking pretty good in terms of trading off this lap here. Let's see if he's able to get maybe into the top 3 at the end of this. I think he messed up that lap a little bit. Try to keep the car from avoid going into the barriers down on the side. We got the Red Bull of Mr. Rage right now, clocking into the pit. Let's keep on Mr. Rage and Red Bull, see where he goes by this end of this current lap. And got a purple sector 2 there as well, so looking pretty good on that. So Robbie will have to get another lap going. Beefy looks like he's going to wait until the end of the session again, and everyone so far has done their laps on the medium tires. Let's see if anyone is going to do a switch and go onto the hards and possibly wants to start the race on the soft tires. So we'll see how this is going to work over so far. And we got Mr. Raid now going up to second fastest on the grid, a 110.3. 10 faster than Walker. Walker's out to the session, by the way, so he's done for. But he made it back to the pit, so his time is going to hold. That 110.7 from Extreme is not going to hold, of course. Curti would have been 6th on the grid with that time there. Unfortunately, Tyler disqualified from the session. And Beefy finally out on track here. Where's Glock right now? I think he's about to get started on his lap. Also guys, remember we do have the links in the description of the video to join my channel Discord and to join on the league Discord, the league official streaming here right about now. If you guys do want to race with them or be a reserve driver or whatnot in the league, they do look for reserve driver most of the time because they do have about 4 different divisions running. They run on Wednesdays, Thursdays, Sundays, and Saturdays as well. There's that one. So do join it for that. Also for the stream schedule here on IG8Live Esports, you gotta guess I'm gonna be updating that maybe by this evening if I do get a chance with it. It does change week by week, so we're gonna update it on a weekly basis. So do check up to see what's happening with that in the Discord. You have to join my channel Discord to actually get a look at that. If I do schedule the streams ahead of time, then you'll be able to know what's happening. I wasn't sure what's gonna happen this week. That's why this was the only stream actually scheduled to go live during the course of this week, starting Sunday going onward. So I'll have to schedule the rest just based on what I know is going to happen during the rest of the week. So I'll be looking at that later on this evening and set everything up. We got Glock about to finish off his lap right now. Beefy coming around somewhere behind this. Gets the fastest lap here, 109.876. At 10 faster than Draft so far. So looking pretty good in the Mercedes. Let's see if the Draft and the Williams will get back out on track and possibly try to get a faster time in. We'll see what that's going to work for him, because he might actually try it, or he might just stay on that lap that he currently has, because this is about race strategy at this point here. Qualifying 3 is going to be about grid positions for the start of the race. That's going to be where he's going to be wanting provisional pole for the start of the Dutch Grand Prix. So for now, I think he might just let that be and not really fight it so much. But sometimes drivers do tend to get back out, possibly trying to get another faster lap in. We're down to just under 6 minutes left in qualifying 2 right now. Got the AlphaTauri of Beefy getting across the line. Third fastest so far. Goes faster than his teammate in this instance. I think it was a bit the other way around. Previously, he's about 3 tenths faster than his teammate right now. Up to third on the grid. Not a bad time for him as well. think we do have Robbie Hunt to get back into the pits right now. So let's see whose car is going to be currently running on track. We're going to wait for another driver to get out on an outlap and see what's going to happen. Closing off this session in a few minutes. Once again, guys, do not forget to leave a like on the video here on YouTube, and make sure to follow us on Twitch and Facebook, and make sure you are subscribed to us on YouTube if you haven't done so already. Do appreciate you guys doing that. I think basically everybody's back into the pits except for Beefy here, who's on his in lap right now, because I highly doubt he's going to try another lap here. Of course, he is one of the only drivers in the top 10 right now who's done a lap. I kept it out there on the soft tires. Everyone else in the top 10 currently has done their laps on the mediums so far. VRS made it down in 11th, has his time currently on the soft tires as well. So Extreme is currently 10th. Let's see what's going to happen. I'm not sure how many drivers are going to have go over into qualifying 3. This is going to be a bit interesting as you get around to that, but let's just wait and see what's going to happen in that case. Okay, sorry about that disconnection for a few minutes. Had to just take a bit of a break, and we are back with this. So we still in qualifying 2, got just under a minute left right now. And where's my controller? All right, there we go. So under a minute left with this. Let's see who is currently running on track. Looks like no one is currently running except for Glock here. It doesn't look like he's doing a fast lap. So as the time stands, looks like Glock is still fastest in a session at 109.8. A tenth below that, we do have 12 seconds faster. So let's see how this works out in terms of how many drivers will actually make it on over into qualifying 3. And I think it's going to be a bit interesting. I'm looking forward to see what that starting grid is going to look like for the top 10 or 9 or 8 or whatever we're going to have over in qualifying 3. Let's see how it's going to work out, because we can look at the strategy there. Glock doing his lap, fastest lap on the sauce. So far, let's have a look. Am I on? Yeah, I have it on fastest laps there, I think. No, that's best so far. So he's currently on the soft, not doing the best on the soft. So looks like we only have Beefy in the top 10 that currently did the lap time on the soft tires at the moment there. So as I said, this is going to be interesting, especially with race strategy towards the start of this race. So let's see what's going to happen as we get around to that. So end of qualifying 2. Let's have a look at the results here right now. Alright, so there we go. Fastest driver here for qualifying 2 goes to the Mercedes driver Glock there, 109.8. Pretty impressive lap from him. We got Dross taking second fastest, Beefy third, Robbie in fourth, Mr. Rage fifth, Mikey 6th, Walker 7, Clarky 8, XSM 9th, and that's our top 9 going over to qualifying 3. Extremist is going to start 10th, VR Smithy in 11th, Tyler will start 12th. He got disqualified from this session. We can spun around into the wall and then possibly driving the wrong way. Not sure if he actually did that. I know the game sometimes gets a bit crazy. Now we're going to head straight over into qualifying 3 with our top 9 drivers. It's your call on who is going to be getting provisional pole for the start of this race. Looking pretty good out in front between Glock and Trout. Possibly the Beefy there as well. Might stand a good chance Walker might even try and get the faster lap, because he was pretty faster than that over in qualifying 1. So we'll see what's going to happen over in Q3 as we head over to that session now. Okay, so into qualifying 3 right about now. We know everyone's going to be running on the soft tires here with the top 9. We're not going to put any of that on screen. But let me just get some stuff up here on my end so we can possibly just have a quick look at a few things. Where are my standings right now? Because I'm trying to have a look and see what we're currently dealing with here right about now. Alright, so hopefully we have everything updated. Let's see who's getting out on track here right now. Looks like we have a few cars who are currently getting out at the moment. So let's switch this up, and I think we're gonna try and have a look a bit. Let me just make sure I have everything up to date before I actually do bring this up for you guys here. Alright, so where are we at here right now? I think everyone's still on their out laps and going. So I think in the meanwhile they're going on their out laps and get their hot laps started. We're going to have a quick look at the constructor standings a bit here. Let's have a quick look at that and see where we are at currently. So at the moment with the constructors, looks like we do have AlphaTauri currently leading that here. So that's Walker and Beefy at the moment. 53 points is what that team currently has. We got Williams currently second. 43 points, 10 points behind. So between Williams and AlphaTauri, going to be getting quite interesting today here. We'll see how that's going to work out with these guys here. We do have Mercedes down to 4th with Ferrari just above them. Ferrari in 3rd with 38 points. We got Mercedes in 4th with 25 points. Just a point behind that is Alfa Romeo in 5th, 24 points. McLaren currently 6th with 16 points. We have Aston Martin currently 7th with 14 points. Red Bull and Alpine tied with it for 8 points. And below that, we have Haas down at the bottom of the grid. This with 4 points only at the moment as we have it. So pretty interesting with the current standings there for the Sunday division of Slipstream Racing. AlphaTauri currently leading 10 points ahead of Williams currently, who is in 2nd. We're going to see if it's going to be an AlphaTauri or a Williams driver on the podium here after this race is finished. Mr. Rage, only one currently on an out lap. Everyone else currently on hot laps there. So we're going to see how they get on through with that. And with that off screen, let's have actually, we think we're going to wait a bit. Let's just have a look at these guys getting their first round of laps in. And then when everyone's getting back into the pits, then we're going to have a quick look at the driver standings as what it is. That's going to be a bit more interesting there as well. So Walker currently 109.652. His lap that he currently has there. Who do we have getting across the line next here? Let's have a quick look at that. I think he's Droft about to get across second here. And let's see what his lap is going to look like. So 19.6 from Walker. And Droft goes across. He takes a 109.3, 3/10 faster. Who is this? And we got Clarky getting across a 122.5. Not the best of lap there. I think we got Robbie getting across next. Invalidated lap. Now guess on another lap going. We might have excess getting across now. Third fastest at 110.0. Got Mikey getting across at some point here very soon. As he now goes across fifth fastest 110.4. We got Glog going second fastest 109.3. 7/8, 3,000 of a second time difference between him and Drop there for provisional pool at the moment as it stands. So pretty interesting with the laps as we got Robbie who's currently running another lap there on that same set of tires. We got Mr. Rage coming around in the Red Bull, about to finish off his current lap. Let's see where he goes on the grid. Everyone else is going to currently head back into the pits and get a new set of tires on to get another lap going. Fourth fastest for Mr. Rage here, 109.7. Not too bad of a lap for him, but look at that gap that we have out front with Droft and Glock there for provisional pull in the moment. 3,000 of a second is what the time difference is. Very close up between them. Another 3/10 behind is where Walker is. Another 10 behind Mr. Rage there. Another 3/10 down to XS there in fifth. 2/10 down to Beefy there in sixth. Another 2/10 down to Mikey in seventh. And Clarky of course has to try another lap here. Where's Robbie on track here? Getting through sector 3. And of course, he might start to run into a bit of traffic as everyone is heading back on their in laps right about now. So hopefully everyone keeps out of the way as he gets around here on his fast sector. Let's have a look at him get across the line before we have a look at the driver standings. He might be getting back into the pits here. And he is getting back into the pits actually. So where are Mr. Rage and Walker possibly trying not out laps here before they do decide to get back in. We'll see if there's going to be a change of that as we get on through with the session either way there. So let's bring up the driver standings on screen here and have a quick look at what that is currently at here, because looks like we got Droft, as I said, leading now with the driver standings here. 43 points is where he's at. 10 points behind that we got Walker in second. So this is why I'm keeping an eye on these two in the session so far getting through. Glock third guy down in the grid there order for the driver standings, and he is currently second on the grid here for the start of this race. Let's see how that's going to change up. So top three currently on the driver standings are top three currently here to start the race here for the Dutch Grand Prix. But this is going to change up. We still got 6.5 minutes just up around that left in the session to close it off. So as I said, Droft for currently leading the Drivers' Championship, 43 points. Walker down in second, 33 points. Glock currently third, 25 points. Mikey in fourth, currently with 22 points. Beefy fifth, 20 points. We got Extremist and Vintage tying it with 16 points each. Smitty there, 15 points. Chris currently 12 points in ninth. We got Red Devil currently down to 10th with 8 points. Tied with Mr. Rage and Scooby, all 8 points each. Robbie down to 13th, 5 points currently. Cody in 14th with 2 points. Nick currently 1 point in 15th. Known as currently with points as it stands right now. Everyone currently back into the pits at the moment. So I think we can get rid of that from the screen. Where is there we go. So take that off screen right about now and just get back to the session itself. So far so good. We're going to see what's going to happen in the remaining 5.5 minutes that we have left here in qualifying 3 before we do get over to the race session itself. But standings as it is, it's looking pretty good so far. And I want to see what's going to happen with Droft, Walker, and Glock out in front there. Remember, the order that they currently have is Droft leading the championship at the moment. He's currently on provisional pole to start this race. Glock and Walker, they're currently switching it at the moment in terms of position on the driver standing. So let's see if they're going to do a switch here again to start the session with. So we're waiting for everyone to get back out on track right about now. Let's see who's going to be getting back out. Looks like we already got starting to get back out right away. Already got the Williams of Drop possibly getting back out first here, I think, or is this his teammate Excess? I'm not sure. We're gonna see in just a bit. Might just be it is his teammate getting out in front. Got an AlphaTauri getting out behind of him, and that's Walker there. So gonna get a bit dicey here in qualifying 3. Let's see what's gonna happen throughout this session here. So once again, guys, we're waiting to see if there's going to be any change in terms of the grid order for the start of the race. We still got Draft holding on to that provisional pole there. Glock and Walker going to fight it out for a second, possibly, or even a P1 position to start the race. And we'll see how it goes between them. But so far, looking pretty close, at least with the top 7 lap times that we have here. Clark did 122.5, not the best of time. He's going to possibly try and get a better time in on this run here that he's going to be getting out on. When he does get out on track, we have everyone starting to get out just a bit here. I think X is still leading everyone around here, as he is now going to be the first one to get on the second round of laps going on here. We might bring back the driver standings in just a bit to see what the order is going to be in terms of the starting order and how they're currently lined up on that list there as well. It's a pretty short lap around the track here, so that's why it's going to be an increased amount of laps down to about 30 something, probably about 39 or so. I'm not sure how much laps it actually is. We'll see about that when we do get around to it. And we also got Draft on another out lap there as well. Alright, so around the final turn right about now, should be getting across the line. Let's see, and doesn't look like it's a faster lap, but it's already on 113, so not a faster lap that we did there. I think we got Walker about to get across the line next. Does he go faster? Doesn't look like he did, so not improved lap so far. Then we got Mikey as the next driver to get around here with the McLaren of Clarkey getting on an out lap right now, so he'll be getting started on a hot lap pretty soon. And interestingly enough, looks like Robbie now goes faster in session at 109.359, at least about 200 of a second faster than what Draft did. We're on with Draft here at the moment to see if he's going to be getting a faster time and possibly getting back professional pole away from what Robbie has got there in the Haas. Let's see what that's going to work out. He currently has a purple sector 1 on this current lap that he's running. Glock currently on an out lap. Walker on another hot lap, still running there. Let's see how this is going to work out between them. Got my eye on that grid order right about now to see if anything is going to change as these guys get around. That's a purple sector 2 so far from Draft, looking pretty good on this current lap. Might just be looking at getting that provisional pole away from Robbie, and I don't, because I highly doubt he does want to give that up at this point here. Getting around sector 3 right about now, final turn back onto the start finish straight, and let's see where he goes as he gets across the line. Currently at 109.375, does improve by about a tenth ahead of what Robbie just got, and 109.257 now. Takes back provisional pole. Where is Walker on track? He is currently running in a sector 2 right about now. Glock just getting started on his hot lap, so let's see where these two are going to go by the end of the lap here. Not sure if Walker had a purple sector 1 or not. Not a purple sector 2 as far as we can see so far. So let's see if it's going to be an improved lap or not. After this, I think we're going to switch it on to the Mercedes of Glock coming around in sector 2 there right about now. Walker here getting across at 109.652. Does he go faster and improves the second fastest at 109.301, 400th of a second faster than what Robbie had previously there. He's now down to third. Glock here, purple sector 2 so far, looking pretty good on this current lap. Let's see if he's able to finish or possibly get back maybe anywhere with the top 2 there, or possibly even a faster lap here right about now, as he keeps as close to the pit wall as he can, gets across the line, and it is the fastest lap there, a 109.218, 400th of a second faster than what Droft got. So looking pretty good in terms of and looks like he's going to start right where he is. Droft, of course, I think he might be running one final lap here. Not sure if he's doing a hot lap or not. Let's see if he does finish this off, because Glock currently holds on to provisional pole there, and it's the end of qualifying 3 at this point. He's going to go across the line. I don't think he really improved on that one there, so holds on to a 109.257. Doesn't go any faster. And I think that's going to be it there for qualifying. We got Robbie's car getting back into the pits right about now, and then we're going to have a look at these results here for the top 9, then get straight onto the formation lap and have a look at the entire starting grid before getting started with the race itself as it is there. So driver standings back online there, as you guys can have a quick look at that before we get off the end of this session here. So as I said, Droft was currently leads a driver standings, Walker in second and Glock in third. Let's see what the difference is with the standings here up on the screen right about now. So fastest guy there is Glock there for qualifying 3. Is going to start P1 on the grid. Droft currently is going to start second. Walker will start third. So it is still 3 of them fighting for the top 3 spots there. So we'll see what's going to happen as they get into the race session itself. So as we have it, Robbie's going to start 4th, Clarky starts 5th, Mr. Reagan 6th, Mikey 7, XS and 8, Leafy in 9th. And we're going to head straight over into the race session now and get going in a formation lap. And yeah, we're going to have a look at the entire starting grid as they get around on the formation lap, and yes, then get started with the race. Hopefully a pretty clean start at this point here, because I think we're looking forward to that as well, as these guys want to get started on that. So let's just wait for that script to load on through. Okay, so on with the formation lap here right about now. Let's get a few of our stats up on screen first before we do anything else at this point. So we're going to keep tires on. Let's have a look at the starting grid order as it is. So it's going to be a 36 lap race around Netherlands here for the Dutch Grand Prix. Our starting grid is as follows. Glock is going to start P1 on the grid. Droft starting P2. We got Walker starting in 3rd. Robbie starts 4th. Clarky in 5th. Mr. Rage in 6th. Mikey in 7th. We got XS starting in 8th. Beefy will start 9th as it is so far. We got Extremist starting 10, VRL Smitty will start 11, Tyler starts 12, we got Cody starting 13, Neil in 14, Chris 15, Stubby in 16, Vintage 17, Tucker in 18, Paige there starting 19, Scooby will start 20th on the grid there. So that's going to be our starting order as it is right now. Top 10 as we have it. We got 9 of the top 10 starting on the mediums. 1 will be starting on the softs. Most drivers on the grid we can see starting on the mediums. We got Neil and Beefy, the only 2 drivers who are starting on the softs. And Chris choosing to start on the hards there. Going to go for a bit of a different strategy. Welcome to Formula Moments here in the stream. Let's see what's going to happen as this race is getting started within the next minute or so. So 36 exciting laps ahead of us here. I think definitely we're looking forward to quite a few different battles on track. Hopefully we're able to follow all of them. We'll see what's going to happen. We're going to switch this back over to position change. You guys can have a look at that as these guys get started with this race. So tire strategy as it is. Might be a one stop for those on the medium, might end up being a two stop for most of them still, because maybe possibly of a safety car. We'll see what's going to happen. So waiting for the final car here to get into the grid slot to get started with the race. Once again, guys, don't forget to leave a like on the stream. Make sure you guys are subscribed to YouTube, follow us on Twitch and Facebook. We're live on all three at the moment here, so we're just waiting for this race to get started now, as the Alpine of Scooby now gets into the grid slot there. Let's get out in front. We're gonna have a look at these two here right about now, see who's gonna get a better start off the line between Clock and Draft here in the Williams. Walker just behind this, so let's see how it goes. Looks like the Williams gets a bit of a start. They're going to go side by side into turn one. This is going to get a bit interesting as well. We do have there's a Haas of Robbie coming between with Walker there, trying to fight for that position, but looks like Walker is now down a position. Draft still holding on to second, and Mercedes still leads there with Glock in it, and looks like the Williams gets off track just a bit, so Draft's having a bit of trouble now down behind the McLaren of Clarky there. He gets up a position. Leaderboard is a bit mixed up, so we're going to just leave that be for now and just follow on with what's currently happening on track. Ferrari of Mikey currently trying to chase after Draft. They're trying to get a position up if he can. At the moment, Glock still currently leads this race. Walker currently running in third. Robbie up into second, and it's a pretty close gap between him and the race leader. No safety car, no VSC, no yellow flag so far. Everything going pretty cleanly as we have everyone getting through that current first lap of the race here. I'm going to try and have a look currently down in the midfield, having Beefy here chasing after Mr. Rage. A pretty close gap between them. Have the Red Bull of Mr. Rage come side by side with him as he's on the inside trying to fight for that position. And Beefy tries to hold it back into 7. He gets back onto the race line and actually holds it true. So Mr. Rage back down to 8. XS just behind that, about 2 tenths behind. Pretty close gaps to work with, so they have to be extremely careful getting around this race. Back onto the start finish straight, going into the second lap. Glocker with the fastest lap as they get on through with that, of course, there. Extremist down just behind Beef here. A pretty close gap that he currently has, and really trying to let's see where he is. He's somewhere behind. I think we got a bit of a mix up again with our leaderboard. We're gonna have to just let that be as this continues on through. That's why everyone seems to be just slightly bit ghosted or whatever is showing us on screen there right about now. So let's take that off at the moment because we don't need it at this point here. Let's have a look at the grid order as we get on through. It is back on with Draft here. Let's see how close he is. Chasing after Walker currently into third. Walker chasing after Robbie in second. Robbie still trying to fight to get to the leader out front, who's trying to get away and create a gap at the moment here. So let's see how it's going. So top 3 so far. Starting to get just a bit spaced off at this point in the race here, but still trying to keep the gap under a second for when DRS comes online in the next lap. So we'll see how they're going to get on through that. Clarky here under a bit of pressure from Mikey just behind, who's trying to keep up with the Ferrari there. And let's see what that's going to go on through with him. Beefy here behind that has a lot of pressure from the Red Bull, who's within a second of him. He's trying to create some sort of gap behind with the car there if he can. Robbie now gets fastest lap at 112.1 so far race pace time. Let's see what that's working out in front. Walker loses the position. Something's happened out front with him. I'm not sure how he lost the position here, but he's now behind Draft, who's currently back up into third. And he's trying to fight his way up into the lead of the race if he can at this point here. So still chasing after him. Looking a bit cloudy on track. Not sure if we're going to be having any rain in this session or not. I'm not sure. Let's see what's going to happen. Let's get back out in front, have a look here, see what's going on with Clark and Robbie out front. Still a pretty decent gap between them. I think about 6 or 7 tenths as they continue on through with this race. And about to get, I think, into lap 4 at this point. It looks like XS has retired from the session. What's happened to his car down at the back? Did he retire in the pits? I highly doubt it was because it's a virtual safety car right now. So something's happened to him on track somewhere. I assume there's his car at the side of the track on that final turn. As we talked a bit about it during qualifying session, that final turn getting onto the start finish straight is a bit tricky and can actually cause some incidents, which it just caused. We got a full safety car happening right now because of all of this here right about now. We're going to have a few pit stops possibly happen under the safety car here as well. We got Chris into the pits right now. I think everyone kind of passed the pit lane by the time they realize it's a full safety car. for the session so far. So Glock here going to get back out in front. Possibly might take a stop. Let's see what's going to happen in this case here, though. I'm not sure how many drivers will choose to take a pit stop at this point. Let's put tires on and keep that at the moment there. I'll see what's going to happen in this case. Hey, Serious Mushroom, how are you doing? Has been a while. Okay, so getting back around to the pit lane entrance here on lap 4, currently under a safety car. So these guys should be following on with it. Let's see what's going to happen, if they're going to be doing a stop or not. And looks like they were thinking about it, but actually didn't do it. So they're going to continue on out in front, running on what they're doing there right now. Looks like Beefy's into the pits, though. He's on soft tires, so might be a good idea for him to actually have a change of tires right about now. He's done about 4 laps only on that set, though, 4 or 5 laps on it. So let's see what's going to happen in this race, because this is going to be a bit of a change up. We would expect to see a lot of pit stops during the safety car, but I think what happened is because the safety car became a full safety car so close to the point where everyone was already past the pit lane entrance, they didn't get a chance to take a stop at that point. Because if it did happen before all of them actually got around to the entrance of the pit lane, I think everybody would have been getting into the pits, getting on and used to the tires to continue on into this race. Now they're all going to follow on behind the safety car. No one wants to pit because the race leader did not. He thought about it. Robbie thought about it as well, as we saw them both dodging into the pit and then dodging back out on track. Was a bit dangerous as well, but they still they were thinking about it. Neil getting a 5-second penalty for speeding in the pit lane. Come on, buddy, can't do that. And that's going to hurt his race just a bit. He's going to have to serve that at some point in the race. See what's going to happen in that case there. But as it is right now, everyone is going to get bunched back up at this point here. We might still see a few stops happening on this. We'll see what's going to happen. But I think they're probably going to hope for a second one to possibly do their stops later on in the race. As it is, it's currently lap 5 of 36. We got quite a way more before we close off this race. And I think we're going to just continue as it is there right about now and wait until the safety car is over. We definitely will have to go one more lap under the safety car before we do go back racing. So I think we're going to wait by the end of lap 6 possibly, where we're going to go back racing. Might be what we're going to have to wait and see. So currently 2 drivers out of the session. We got Neil out of this. Next is currently out of as well. We got 18 drivers currently remain on the grid. Still a decent amount to work with here, and we're going to call on through with the grid order as it is there right about now. So currently, let's have a quick look on positions gained and lost here. At the moment, so it looks like Robbie gained 2, gained few lost as it gets on through. The most gained looks like so far is Scooby there, who started, I think it was 20th on the grid for him. He's up all the way into 11th on the grid right about now. Not too bad. Paige, I think, started 19th. She's up to 15th on the grid right now. So looking pretty good with the positions. There are a few drivers here as they gain quite a bit. Stu B there starts 7 positions down from that as well. So he's gained quite a bit as he gets on through. We can see pit stops what's happened so far. At least 4 drivers have pitted. Looks like Tyler has done 2 stops so far in this race. Back on the tires here. No penalties in the session so far. I think we're going to keep that on, possibly get back going in just a bit here. Let's have a look and see what's going to happen on the restart. By the time we get around to end the start of Sector 3 is where we should know if we're about to get back racing here or not. Alright, so let's have a look. I really didn't pay attention for a second, so I'm not sure. Are we going one more lap with the safety car? It looks like we are, as Glock is trying to race the safety car as well. So we're possibly going one more lap. Yep, we are. So one more lap under the safety car. That's into lap 7 now. At the end of lap 7, we should be getting back to racing here and then continue on with the race. Another 30 laps or so to go before we do close off the session. Unfortunate, but we do have to continue with that. No point can't really get past the safety car and just get away from it or skip through it at this point here. So we're going to have to continue as it is there right now. So we got a Mercedes currently leading, as we have Mercedes currently fourth on the constructor standings. We got Robbie and the Haas, who that team is currently 10th in the order of the constructor standings, so they definitely need the points at this point here. So let's see where they're going to finish by the end of the race as it is going on through. So far so good with the race start as it was. A pretty clean start. We have lost excess though. Neil lost in the race as well. We're going to continue on with the 18 drivers that we have. And we're going to finish this off pretty soon to get back racing here. And looks like we got two drivers now with 5-second penalties, both for causing a bit of collision during the safety car itself. I think that was. And we're about to get back racing at the end of this current lap here. So, yep, so already got the safety car heading away. We got these guys weaving away on track like crazy, getting those tires back up to temperature as they're about to get back racing as they get around the final turn. That Mercedes in front is going to be the first one to get off going. No overtaking until they get across that white start-finish line. So they're going to have to wait on that. But some very close gaps here. As you can see, the Haas of Robbie pretty close by behind. He's already got a bit of a go. I already thought that the Mercedes was going to go. He's not driving off as yet. I think he's just waiting. And yep, they're going for it there right now. And let's see how it's going to go into turn one. We got cars pretty close by. The Haas chasing after Robbie. Draft and Walker pretty close by as those two are fighting side by side through turn one. But looks like Draft holds on to the position for now. Walker down to fourth. Let's see what's going to happen as the rest of the way through. At the moment here, looks like the AlphaTauri of Walker having some problems, but he's trying to keep the position in P4. Doesn't want to lose it to Clarky at this point. Mike in the Ferrari just behind up this coming through as well, with the Red Bull of Mr. Rage behind. Extremist another 210. Smitty with his 5-second penalty coming in 9th, about 6 tenths behind. So still some extremely close gaps. Scooby's out of the race right about now. Something's happened to him down at the back of the grid. Not sure if he had contact with someone. I assume he probably did, or lost the rear of the car and put it into a wall. I'm not sure where his car is at the moment there, but definitely out of the session. We're down to 17 remaining. That might just be a yellow flag there in sector 1 to get rid of that car at the moment in this point in the race. We just got over the safety car, not gonna be going back to 1 right away. And get back on board right about now with the Haas of Robbie here, chasing after that Mercedes in front of him, trying to get a pretty good go at him, treating the gap within a 3 to 4 tenths as much as he can, so he can have a pretty good run down the start finish straight as they're about to get back to that right about now. Let's see, there's no beefy there, 2 tenths behind Extremist, and he's going to try and keep that gap as close as he can. Let's see what's going to happen getting into turn 1. We get the Haas looking on the inside, but not going to be able to make the overtake as yet. It's still pretty far back behind. 4 tenths, still a pretty big gap to work with. Beefy here goes side by side with the Alfa Romeo of Extremist. Gets the position up though. He's up into 7, still trying to keep Extremist behind. And it's a 210 gap he's working with, so still a bit of a dangerous situation for him. He has to just try and build that gap as fast as he can here, continuing on through the race into lap 9 right about now. We're going to go lap after lap pretty quickly by us, so it's a pretty short lap around here. Extreme is still 2 tenths behind, still trying to catch him up and possibly get back that position if he can, but not looking like he's getting much luck. We're going to Cody here in the Aston Martin. Someone falling down the order there. I think that was Stu B. He's down to 15, now down to 16th. Not sure what happened to Scott. Let's have a quick look and see what's happening to Red Bull down at the back here. He's now chasing after Page, and let's see, he's getting off track a bit, not having the best traction, might have lost temperature on those tires for whatever happened, that he lost positions there. Has Tucker behind of him, about 8 seconds behind. Mr. Rage here trying to get ahead of Tyler in the Alpine in front of him. Let's see if that's going to be working on. Vintage just in front of that, has a pretty good go, a bit of a tap run behind, and he's going to continue on. DRS is now back online, going to be quite a bit of an advantage to quite a few drivers as these guys are now getting back to the start finish straight, trying to follow between on the slipstream here. He's going to chase him down into turn 1, might try to pull off on the inside or be forced on the outside. Looks like he's going to take the inside of turn 1 and actually gets the position up back onto the racing line. That's Tyler down into 14th right now. The Red Bull gets the position up. He's going to chase after the Ferrari in front and see if he's able to get that position away from him by the end of this current lap here. Out in front, top 3 are about 3 to 4 tenths between each other so far, and they're keeping it, they're a bit constant with a gap there. We got Vintage here about to lose a position if he's not careful with Mr. Rage behind. We got a switch between Smitty and Cody for 9th, and looks like Chris is out of the race. Something happened to the Aston Martin just behind us. We had a quick look there for a second if we can. Let's have a quick look on board with Tucker here. And that's going to be a full safety car, because that was a bit of a serious incident there as his car is stuck on track there, blocking the race path itself. So it's going to have to be a full safety car to get rid of that car on track. So second safety car for this race so far. We did expect this to happen. We might have some pit stops happen here right about now. Everyone is coming around the final turn to get back onto the start-finish strip. We definitely might see some pit stop. Let's see if that's going to happen. As you can see, the Mercedes diving into the pits. And no, he does not actually. He does go to do it, but doesn't actually end up actually going in. Let's see who does decide to actually go in. So quite a few cars have not taking a chance of a pit stop. They're keeping on their original race strategy of running those mediums a pretty long run here. Let's put tires back online. You guys can have a look at what's happening with that there, who's getting into the pits and who's not at this point in the race here. So some of our drivers actually did decide to pit, while others are going to be staying out on track and just continuing on with the race itself. Unfortunate for Chris during the Aston Martin, a pretty serious incident. Everything should be fine there though. So now it's 4 drivers out to the session. We're down to 16 remaining at this point here to complete the race. We'll see if we're going to get all 16 to the end, or hopefully at least 12 of them to the end of the session. We'll see what's going to happen in that case. But so far as it is, we still got Glock leading the race. Robbie still running second. We got Walker running third. Clarky running 4. Beefy running 5th. Extremist up into 6. Cody up into 7. Vintage running 8. Mr. Rage in 9. Tyler 10th. We got dropped down to 11th. We got Mikey in 12. Paige in 13. Tucker 14. VRS Smitty in 15. Stu B in 16th on the grid at the moment. So we're going to have to follow under the safety car for another lap or 2 before we do get back racing here. 10 laps most of these cars have done on those medium tires so far. For who have not taken a stop, Beefy has taken a stop previously on the previous pit stop. He started the race on the soft tires. He's now on to the mediums. 5 laps only done on them, so he's going to be running a much longer stint than the cars in front of him. I might be looking to gain a few positions with that there as well. Let's see who's going to work out for him. He's currently running 5th in the race. Not a bad position, even after doing a pit stop at this point here. He's still running 5th. Looking pretty good for Glock so far though, as he still continues to lead here. Walker desperately still trying to get a decent amount of points to continue on in the driver standing so far. His teammate Beefy is currently up into P5. I remember these guys are leading the constructor standings as it is. So as the more points they can get in this race, the better for them in terms of continuing that lead. We'll see what's going to happen though. Safety car is going to be in at the end of this lap. That was pretty quick. A very short safety car there. It's going to be in at the end of this lap. We're about to get back racing into lap 13. Have not reached the halfway point of this race as yet, but still quite a lot has happened so far. Already down to 16 drivers only remaining. So once again, we do have Glock and Mercedes leading the guys around before they get back started with the race. We can see Walker getting pretty close behind that Haas. They're trying to keep as close as he can, as the top 3 keeping just a bit away from the rest of them as they're about to get back going. They gotta wait on that Mercedes to get going before they actually start racing each other again. And they're about to start straight, and now we're going to go for it. Let's see what's going to happen. A pretty close gap between Robbie and Walker here. This might be a bit of a change as they get around the first turn here. Pretty close by between them. No attempt at making an overtake as yet, as the 3 of them continue on through. We have a 310 gap is what is between the top 3 cars so far. So the rest of the grid comes on through as well. Pretty close gap with the rest of down behind. And we have the Haas having some trouble as he gets off track here. Might have taken some damage there as the rest of the cars get on through him. So now Walker continues up into second, clocking into third, Beefy up into fourth, Extremist up into fifth. Now Rob is now down into sixth. We have Cody in the next Aston Martin, who is the only one remaining on track, is now running behind him and looking to get an overtake done at this point here right now. Has a Red Bull following him. That's Mr. Ray just behind, followed by quite a few more cars as the Aston Martin has go side by side, and the Aston Martin has a bit of a spin. Not the best of luck there as Cody is trying to get back going now. He's down the order, down into 15th, now down to 16 down in the back of the grid as he gets back going there. And now that spin has cost him quite a few positions here. A bit of yellow flag in that sector of the track is now over as well. Clarky here chasing after Glock there for the lead of the race, and it's a 1.7 second gap as Glock goes out front. We got a 1.1 second gap between Clarky and Beefy. That's for second place. Extreme is down into third, a second behind. Miss Rage into fifth, about 2.4 seconds behind there. We got Walker here chasing after Draft right about now. The both of them are down to 6th and 7th at the moment. Got Vintage behind them about 5/10. Let's see how this gap works as they continue on to get a yellow flag situation down in sector 1 right now. Someone's off track and I'm not entirely sure who it is. Might just be Tucker, possibly. I'm not sure as yet, but he's getting back going there right about now. We got Smitty into the pits getting back out. Robbie in the pits getting back out right about now as well. He's already back out on track, and I think Robbie definitely took some damage on that bit of incident. He went into the side of the track. So now continue on going through now. Mikey here, 2/10 behind Vintage, his teammate, and it's Ferrari against Ferrari here. Let's see what these two are going to be up to as they're going side by side right now a bit and trying to fight for that position. Looks like Mikey's trying to get up into P8. Will he be allowed by his teammate though? That's the thing, and looks like he gets the overtake done. Might have been a bit on team orders as well. Not sure if that was team instructed or just these guys just decided to do their own thing here. Let's see if they're racing each other or not, but looks like Mikey's the faster driver. On fresher tires as well, we do have DRS is now back online. We're into lap 15 and continuing on through the race. Down here with Tyler at the moment in the Alpine chasing after Vintage. Let's see how close of a gap he's getting into turn 1. Looks like he's getting pretty close. 3/10 is what it's down to at this point. Out in front, Beefy chasing after Clocky. 4/10, 5/10 I think is what the current gap is. I think he's holding on pretty good to that 310 gap drop there. Another 310 gap with him and Mr. Rage fighting for P5. So we're keeping an eye as much as we can on all of these current close gaps. So we have Tucker down at the back there in P14 chasing after Robbie. He has a pretty close gap. I think that just went away from him. So he lost a bit of time there. Still going to continue on and follow with these two right about now. Let's get on board with the Alpine a bit of Tyler here. See how close he's actually getting this gap going. Hopefully a bit of encouragement for him as we're on with him, and he can continue chasing after that Ferrari in front of him and might try to get a position away from him if he can. Of course, about 3 laps fresher his tires are right about now. Not sure if it's going to do him much good. Paige just lost a position I think there to Stu B. She's down to 12, Stu B up to 11th. As we have these two back onto the pit straight, we got Walker seems to be into the pit lane right about now. He's going to go down the order just a bit, as this gap still remains a bit constant between Vintage and Tyler as they continue on through the race at the moment here. Whatever the case is, here's Mushroom. Still glad to have you on the stream chat here with us. So that gap is going just about down to about 2/10 of a second here right about now. So getting a bit closer with these guys. We're still keeping an eye on Giraffe and Extremist out front. Extremist, of course, might be having just maybe a bit more of an advantage being on the mediums, but those are pretty old mediums. 15 laps done on them so far. Let's see how much further he's going to be pushing them. Going just back down to 210, still following on with the Alpine here. He's looking for a gap to get past here. I think Giraffe is about to get an overtake done into turn 1. Let's see how this is. He uses the slipstream as much as he can. DRS advantage with him as well as he gets ahead of the Alfa Romeo and gets on the inside ahead of the Alfa Romeo of Extremist. He's up into P4. Extremist down to 5th. 610 gap. is what Beefy currently has out front towards Clarky there as he continues to chase after him. Let's see on a bit for him, see if he's able to break that gap down. Looks like he might be losing a bit of time. Out in front, Glock still continues to lead right about now. 3.6 seconds ahead of Clarky in McLaren. So let's see what's going to continue going on with this race here. Still 16 drivers remain with this. We're on lap 17 right about now. By the time we get around to the next lap, should be halfway point of the race. Let's take a look down at the back of the grid here right now. We got Walker going side by side with Page. Looks like he gets by the Haas driver and puts himself up into P11 now. And gets a decent gap away from her as well. So let's see where he goes by the end of this current lap, because he's now 8/10 behind Stubby and a pretty close gap, and has a bit of a spin, not having the best of luck. He's trying to keep the car from going into the barriers on the side. He's going to get back going, but now behind of Robbie, now down to 13th on the grid. As he gets back going, might have taken some damage in the car as he had a bit of more contact with the wall there. Not sure if he took any damage, but he's going to keep back going, going to try and gain back as much positions as he can. And recently came out on those tires there, so maybe not fully up to temperature is what caused that spin to happen. He's trying to keep up with the Haas in front of him, with both Haas in front of him. Still about a 6:10 gap, so I'm going to follow on back out in front of Mr. Rage. 3:10 is what the gap currently was, with him and Extremis there as they fight on through for P5 in this race so far. So still some excellent racing happening between these two. A pretty close gap as the Red Bull goes all the way to the rear of the Alfa Romeo right now. Let's see if that's going to continue on through with this current lap as they have that chase going. Still back down to 3:10s. Got Cody down in the back of the grid chasing after Tucker there. 2:10 is what that gap is. Slipstream running here. Both of them pulling to the inside of that pit wall there as the Red Bull pulls on the inside into turn 1. And looks like he gets the position up here. We got Alfa Romeo up. Extreme is trying to fight it back though. He's trying to go side by side with the Red Bull onto this through sector 1. Still could be position to fight for here. But he now has to hold back and take back the racing line behind of Mr. Rage here. Holds on to P6 at least for now. Let's see if he's going to be able to get a gap closer and possibly get a gap to make an overtake with here. Sees BRL Smitty there still chasing after Tucker. These two have been pretty close by for each other for the past few laps. I think it's a bit of a switch that just happened there with the two of them. Through turn 1 that happened there as well. So Smitty up to 14th, Tucker down to 15th. Got Cody into the pits there right now. Got Robbie here about to get past his teammate, and he does get by. He's now up into 11. Walker gets by Page there as well. He's now up into 12. Is Page having some trouble with the car? Not sure. Let's have a quick look here. Doesn't seem to be any damage on the Haas, but lost 2 positions there already. Let's get back out front right about now with Beefy in P3. Podium position right about now for him as he chases after Glock and Clarky out front. 4:10 gap, of course, he has to Clarky there. So a pretty close gap. He is looking to get by up into 2nd place in this race. Get as much points as he can here to increase his chances or his position on the driver standings. Okay, so on to a lap 20 here at the moment. There is Clark out front, and we're getting into sector 3. He's going to be getting to lap 21 pretty soon. So on to lap 20, getting to lap 21 pretty soon. That's going to leave us about 16 laps remaining. Get Extremists out of the race. Something's happened here. Not sure what has happened exactly. Let's have a look quickly on board with Tyler at the moment here. And there's this car at the side of the track. Not sure, are we having a VSC or safety car for that right about now? Seems to be the yellow flag there in sector 2 at this point. So it doesn't look like it's going to be a VSC or a safety car for that incident. That's going to just be taken care of by the race marshals there. So back onto out front with Beefy and Clarky here fighting for P2 at the moment. That leaves us with 15 drivers remaining in this session right now. We're going to continue on with this. Now remember, quite a few cars here. Those guys running 20 laps on those mediums have not taken a stop in this race as yet. Let's see when they decide to do this. I think they're probably going to do it in the next few laps time, and they might want to be pushing those cars as much as they can and then try to get onto the soft tires to go to the end of the race. So the question is, how much laps can they actually push on the soft tires? We got about 16 laps remaining in the race. So I think they were probably going to try pushing maybe to about 12 to 13 laps on those softs. So we'll be looking at some pit stops possibly happening the next 3 to 4 laps or so. Let's see what's going to happen in that case and when these guys actually plan to do it and what their strategy actually is here. Gap is starting to go just a bit away right now from Beefy here. Of course, he's now under pressure. Has Joff behind of him, who has the fastest lap now and looking to get by the AlphaTauri in front of him. So Beefy needs to make this move happen pretty soon. Otherwise, he stands a pretty good chance of losing a position himself here right now. So Clarky under a lot of pressure right about now. Has two cars definitely who are interested in getting away with that position that he currently has. So he needs to get that position up as much or as fast as he can. Walker about to get an overtake done on Subi and gets the overtake done. He's into 9th. Subi is now down into 10th. With a 210 gap and already losing some time to Walker there. So let's keep back an eye here now. See what's happening with Beefy, Draft, and Clarky. Because I think there's going to be an overtake between Beefy and Draft pretty soon. As we can see, Draft trying to go side by side with the AlphaTauri already. Not able to pull it off as yet though. Now getting into Sector 3. Let's see how this is going to work out, getting around into turn 1 into the next lap. That McLaren of Clarky is quite a way out in front, but Beefy here under a lot of pressure. 310 is where the gap is going to get even closer as they approach turn 1 on this current lap 23. And it looks like Beefy is closing back the gap on Clarky once again. So this has been going and coming quite a bit now between these two. Walker getting away from Stubby by about 6/10 right about now. Has about a 2-second gap to catch up the Vintage in front of him. Stubby, of course, still trying to keep the gap as close as he can right now. These guys have been driving quite excellently actually through this race so far. These three here are keeping it a bit constant with a gap right now. No one is giving an inch at the moment because somebody will have to possibly make a mistake for an overtake to happen here. Unless someone has a more bit of an advantage. Of course, we know Clark and Clarky have to pit very soon in this race. That's going to put Beefy and Draft up a position each. That's going to put Beefy up into the lead. Of course, Beefy, those 17 laps on those set of tires, he's going to have to possibly do another stop, maybe. Not sure if he's going to be able to push those set of tires all the way to the end of the race there. Because Clark and Clarky, their tires are 5 laps older than his are. So will he actually be able to push these tires all the way to the end of the race? That's going to be asking for quite a bit. Mr. Rage into the pits there right now. We're keeping an eye see how this works out. Block out front actually improving on his lap time right now. He's still pushing forward on this and just got the fastest lap on the previous lap there. 7 seconds is what the gap is between him and Clarky there for second place. Beefy still with a 5:10 gap to Clarky and Draft still a 5:10 behind of him. Now closing that to about 3:10s. And this is going to go on for quite a bit until some pit stops start to happen around here, I think. Looks like we got Paige, Tyler, and Vintage into the pits right now. Gonna get off those tires, and Paige has not pitted in this race so far as yet. He's now getting into the pits here as well. I'm gonna get onto a new set of tires. Let's see where the horse driver goes at the end of this. Getting onto softs to go to the end of the race. So at this point, we do expect the soft tires to make it to the end of the race. It's just about 12 and a half to 13 laps to get to the end of the race at this point. So let's see if these guys out front are gonna do a pit stop here or not. Looks like the McLaren of Clarky is now into the pits. Clark has not pitted as yet. 24 laps done on that set of tires so far, and I think he's the only one who's going to be running more than 24 laps on a single set of tires here. Now we have Draft running on hard tires there. 13 laps done on them. At this point, we're counting that he possibly is going to take it to the end here. or he might do another stop if we have another safety car. I think he's going to take a chance with it there. We're still on with Beefy and Draft. They're fighting for second place in the race now. Walker has retired from the session. He's out of the race. Something's to happen to his car, and that's happened at wrong. That's a full safety car. A lot of cars are going to be happy about this right about now in terms of taking pit stops, including our race leader Glock out front, as he is currently in getting to sector 3 right about now. So he's going to definitely be happy about this. He's going to be able to take a pit stop and possibly save some time here. Beefy might be taking another stop. I think Draft might take a stop here as well, as they're all going to be bunched up behind the safety car going on through. Clarky, of course, have already done a stop, gone on to fresh soft tires here. Let's see what's going to happen in that case. Mr. Rage behind him, Mikey behind him, all three of them on fresh soft tires. Robbie has done 10 laps on those hards he currently has on. Quite a few more cars doing stops just behind of that. We have Glock going into the pits right about now. Let's see what's going to happen. Beefy continues on out in front, doesn't take a stop here. Is he going to go? Actually, no, he doesn't continue. He's going to go into the pits as well as Draft here going in. I think he's quite happy about this. He gets to get off these slower tires, gets onto a set of new soft tires to go to the end of the race as well with the rest of the drivers here. And they're all going to fight it out out in front for the lead of the race. And they're going to say thank you very much to Walker for this one, for causing that safety car in this instance here, because Lock now gets back out in front and he still leads this race. He has not lost that lead from the start of the race up to this point. He's kept it all the way from lap 1 to lap 26, which we're currently on. We got an average of about 8 to 9 laps of racing to continue on to finish off the race with. Because we got a lap or two more to do under the safety car here as everyone finishes off with their final pit stop in the race. We got Robbie into the pits as well. Everyone getting onto very fresh soft tires. Mr. Ridge going to continue on with what he has there. 1 lap done on them, so really not too bad with that. And this is going to take us all the way to the end of the race. Going to get quite interesting as well. So let's see how this race works out. But so far, so good in this race session. Has been quite interesting. We got 14 drivers remaining here in the session right now to finish this race. Let's see if we can have all 14 finish off. I think we should be able to have all 14 finish off the session as it is right about now. So under our next, I think it's our third safety car in the race so far. If we've been counting, I'm not sure. So Glock still leads. We got Beefy now running second, Clarky now running third, Draft in fourth, we got Rage in fifth, Monkey 6, Robbie 7, Vintage 8, Tyler 9th, Page in 10th, and Smitty 11th, 2B 12, Tucker 13, Cody in 14th. Let's see what our top 10 finish is going to be and who's going to be getting driver of the day on this one. Looks like we're going to do one more lap on the safety car here before we do get back restarted with this race. We have a few more drivers trying to catch up to the safety car queue at this point. Hopefully they're able to do that before the end of this current lap here. So it looks like on lap 28 we're about to get back racing. This should give us at least 9 laps of racing to finish off the session. I want to try and have a quick look at the penalty situation as it is there with Cody at the moment. Looks like there's a 5-second penalty. So I think we're going to leave it on that for now and continue on through, because we know everyone is running on fresh soft tires at this point to go to the end of the race. So let's see what's going to happen by the time we get back. We start with this. I'm not sure if we're going one more lap under the safety car. Let's see what's happening. Is the safety car going to go away or not? I would expect we should be able to go back racing by the end of this lap, but it doesn't look like it's the case. Race control, Clarky, 5-second penalty for severe collision with Tucker. Where's Clarky? He's running in third. Tucker's running 13th. How on earth did that even happen at this point here? Oh, he has Tucker in front of him. And now gets ahead. Now dealing with a 10-second penalty. I know they had contact there again. Are these two fighting through the formation, the safety car lap here. Because it's now a 10-second penalty for Clarky. Tucker with a 5-second penalty. Cody with a 5-second penalty. This is not going to go too well for Clarky here. He's he's definitely losing out podium positions at this point with a 10-second penalty with the way things are going there. So we're going to see what's going to happen out front with top three. Let's have a look back here. Let's see what's happening with him and Tucker there, who's still, I don't know, they keep switching positions. I'm not sure if Tucker is being allowed, and yeah, there you go. Let's switch it again. Let's have a look from behind actually with Draft here as they get through the stop. This is a bit interesting. Let's see what's going on with these two. Because Tucker is 13th on the grid, Clarky is 3rd, but Tucker is stuck in the safety car queue in that position in front of him, and they keep switching positions here on track. Not sure who's supposed to be in front of who. I'm not sure if Tucker is supposed to unlap himself or not, so he's a lap behind. So it's Cody there, but Cody, a bit of a issue with the McLaren there, almost losing the car. I think Clarky might end up losing this car in the race. I'm not sure what's going to happen here. Safety car is going to be in on this lap. We're about to get back racing. Those two out front. Can somebody tell Draft to keep it steady? We're trying to have a look at what's happening with the two cars out in front of him. I know he's trying to warm his tires back up to get back racing here. Now someone has stopped at the side of the track for some reason there. And that might have been Tucker there. So he's going to be a whole lot more behind. Where is Cody on track? Who is he between? In the middle of the grid. He is behind Mikey right about now. Are about to get back racing out in front. Let's have a look at what's going to happen. 10-second penalty for Clarky. Going to cost him a podium position here, but let's see how that works out. As he now tries to go side by side with Beefy, fighting for a position here, but Beefy has the inside. He's going to try to keep that as he squeezes him a bit as well. The Williams of Draft coming on the other side has a bit of a spin into the barrels down on the side, and he's all the way down the bottom of the grid at the moment there. All the way down to 11th right now. Not sure if he's going to try going, but I think he has taken some severe damage to the car there on that restart at the moment. Might be a yellow flag situation end of that portion of the track. Out in front, Glock still leads by about 5/10. Beefy behind of him. Beefy has a pretty good chance here of possibly winning this race. Needs to keep up with that Mercedes as much as he can. Clarky down to 3rd. Mr. Ray just behind him. Pretty close by. We're going to go down to Robbie here in 6th right now. See what he's up to at this point. Has Cody ghosted behind him and trying to get by, who's currently in 13th. So he's trying to get away from that right about now. Currently chasing after the Ferrari in front of him. Only a 10th behind. So a pretty close gap between them. And let's see if that's going to be a change. And he's going to get a bit annoyed with that Aston Martin getting out in front of him. Even though it's ghosted at this point here. Now back onto the pit straight. We got Glock getting the fastest lap out front. Let's see how the gaps are looking here as they get through into the next lap of lap 30 here. I think there's still a 3:10 gap between Mikey and Robbie at the moment, so extremely close between the Ferrari and the Haas at the moment. Let's see if there's going to be any sort of switch. Pretty close gaps. Looks like Clarky definitely is looking at losing that position that he has there at the end of this race. Might be going up quite a few positions down. We'll see what happens. But Beefy, they're losing some time right now. Out in front, trying to chase after Glock there for the lead. Does look like the Mercedes has quite a bit more pace to work with. And has a lot of free air in front of him as well to continue building that gap. Let's keep on with Mikey here as he's chasing after Mr. H in front of him. Does have the Haas and Robbie still coming behind of him. Pretty close gap. Let's see if any overtake is going to happen as we finish up the final 6 laps or so remaining in this race. 6.5 laps average about that remaining. I'll just call it about 6 laps. It's a 2:10 gap right about now between Mikey and Robbie, and going down that pit straight into turn 1 once again on lap 31 now. Let's see what's going to happen as a pretty good slipstream he gets. The Haas tries to pull it on the inside, and a bit of a spin from the McLaren of a Clarky there. He's now down quite a few positions, and that caused a bit of a yellow flag situation there in sector 1, prevented any overtaking from happening. And that would have resulted in a penalty for someone who actually took an overtake and kept it. We got a virtual safety car right now as well. Tucker's out of the session. Looks like Speedy gets a 5-second penalty for severe collision with Cody there. And so both McLarens with penalties in this session. It's not looking too good for them. because that possibly will be both of them out of the top 10. Just depends on how this is going to work out with them there. But virtual safety car so far, we should be able to get back racing by the end of this lap, or at least by the time we get around to lap 32. 1.2 second is the gap is out front, increasing a bit right about now, as I think BP is still trying to keep up though with clock there, possibly trying to get under a second, and might try to use some DRS advantage when that VSC there is over. 310 gap between Mr. Rage and Robbie there. Mr. Rage up to third, Robbie down to fourth, Mikey running down to fifth, Vintage in sixth. So we got both Ferraris, I think, behind each other here, is it? Yep, it is. Drive-through penalty for Cody there for speeding under the VSC. Cannot go speeding under the virtual safety car. We got back racing again. Got the Alpine of Tyler here, who's chasing after the Ferrari and goes ahead side by side with Mikey. Gets past him into turn 1 right now. I don't think the Ferrari is going to be able to pull this back right away. Paige currently up to 7th, 1.8 seconds behind Vintage. Going to try to keep up if she can. Vintage here in P4 with a 410 gap, sorry, in P6. He's now down to 6. Let's see if he's able to catch back up to Tyler and get in that position. Doesn't look like he is. Beefy here, pretty interesting move. Is now within a second. Actually just lost that as I spoke about it there. I think Paige finished 5th in the last race. I think it was got driver of the day, and I think finished P5 on the previous race last week. Let's see where it's going to be on the end of this race here, at least. Looking pretty good at getting 7th, possibly into 6th there, if you can challenge Vintage if he does get by Clarky there. 1.1 second gap though. Now 1.2 second gap between Glock and Beefy here for the lead into lap 32. We're currently on. We're about to enter into lap 33. So it's not looking too good for Beefy so far. He possibly has a chance here of trying to catch up to Glock to get away with P1 if he can. Robbie here, of course, coming behind of him, pretty close by. I just got the fastest lap as well. 310 gap is what it's at, and he's looking to get by the Alpha Tour in front of him. And I'm going to get pretty close into this turn here as well, trying to pull it around on the inside, get a better exit, and keeps that gap down to 2/10. So he's looking at getting by at least within the next lap or so here. I'm staying on board just a bit to see how close this actually is going to get between them. Beefy trying as much as he can here with car placement to prevent Robbie from getting by. Drop there all the way down to 11th after his previous incident into the barriers after the safety car restart. He is now trying to catch up to Mikey. 6.5 second gap. Doesn't have any penalties, but still has quite a way to catch up. 310 gap right now with Beefy and Robbie here, still fighting it for second place on the podium. Out in front, Glock there leading by 1.3 seconds. If he does get a 3-second penalty, Beefy stands a better chance of getting a race win here this evening. We're on lap 33, about to head into lap 34. 210 gap. Slipstream is working pretty well for the Haas of Robbie, who now gets alongside the AlphaTauri Beefy. Now going to get a by. Up into second place he goes. Beefy's down to third. Still onto a podium position, but still not the position I think he wanted here. Let's see. The Haas is now going to chase after Glock. Let's see if he's able to get away with the race win away from him. Still no more penalties taken in this race so far. Clarky there, still 10-second penalty. VRS Smitty still a 5-second penalty. Only the McLaren drivers with penalties in this race so far. As we continue on through, gap is down to 1 second between Glock and Robbie. On lap 34, it's going to cut it down right down to the final lap possibly here in terms of getting this overtake done if he's able to break the gap down. Gets it within DRS range right now. 9/10, 7/10 behind Beefy is. He's losing a bit of time, but Robbie definitely might be gaining the time that he needs to try and get past Glock here. Still out of the DRS range, back again. Needs to keep within DRS range to get that DRS advantage, especially down the pit straight where it does help quite a lot. Got Mikey up into 9th right now, Smitty down to 10th. We might be looking at losing both McLarens out of the top 10 at this point. We'll see what's going to happen. Back onto the start finish straight, about to go into lap 35 right about now. 1.1 second between Robbie and Glock out front. 310 gap between Robbie and Beefy there for a second. Mr. Rage another 5:10 behind. And the Red Bull Tyler coming 9.3 seconds behind that. He's looking pretty good at staying there in P5 at the end of this race. Just under 2 laps remaining, and it looks like Glock out front is pushing as much as he can because he's gaining severe amount of time. That is Mr. Rage out of the race, possibly just a yellow flag situation. Let's see how aware his car is on the track there. He's stuck a bit on track actually. but definitely out of the session. I think it might just be a yellow flag situation. Not even a PSC at this point. We're very close up to the end. We do not want to be finishing this race under a safety car at this point. So we're going to continue on racing as Mr. Rage will now fall down the order. I think he just lost the rear of the car getting around those turns, or maybe hit one of the curves a bit too much. Not sure what happened. So Glock still leading, Robbie second, Beefy still running third. The potential top 3 finish as we have it. Tyler still about 11 seconds behind him. Clarky looking to get across the line. P5 won't be able to keep it though. Vintage in 6, Pager in 7, Monkey in 8. We'll see who's going to get driver of the day at the end of this. Gap is now 1.5 seconds as they get around into the final lap of this race. 3:10 gap between Robbie and Beefy still for second place. Looking to be a switch between Clarky and Tyler there. Not sure what's happening with those two. I don't want to have a quick look at the bottom here. So it looks like Clarky's up into P4. Still will lose positions at the end of this race here though. See what's going to happen in that case. We're still following on with Robbie and Beefy here. Still fighting for second place in the race here at the moment. Beefy still has about half a lap remaining to possibly get that overtake done, especially if Robbie makes any sort of mistake, which is highly unlikely at this point in the session. They're going to be very careful to make it all the way to the finish line and make sure they do get that podium position that he's currently on there. So looking, it's going to be some interesting points though for Glock there. Trough currently leading the Drivers' Championship though, all the way down to 9th. Not going to get a whole lot of points in this session, so we'll see how that's going to affect things going over to the next race there. So getting around the final turn right about now, we got the Mercedes of Glock, who has led every single lap of this race and is now going to get across the line and takes a win for the Dutch Grand Prix. Pretty impressive win from him. We got Robbie getting across second line on the, second to the podium, and we got Beefy turn on the podium. Not too bad of a finish for them. We got Clarky, he's going to get across the line P4, not going to keep this position unfortunately. So let's see how much positions he does lose as the rest of the guys gets across the line. We got Tyler take away 4th position. We got Vintage to come around. He takes away 5th. And I think that might just be enough for him to stay. No, actually it's not. Page goes into 6th position here. Not a bad finish there as he finished 5th in the last race. Clarky down to 7th. We got Mikey down to 8th with this one. Draw finishing in 9th. Not a whole lot of points, but it's going to have to take it for now. Smitty coming across the line to finish in P10. Actually, Droff gets up into P8. Clark is now down to 9th. We still got both McLarens finishing in the top 10. At least they did that there. But still, the penalty situation did affect their race quite a bit. We do have our final driver getting around quite slowly here, is he? No, he's actually pushing as much as he can. Subi here to get across the line, P11. And that's going to be it for this race session. We're going to wait to have a look and see who gets driver of the day and have a look at the preliminary results before closing off this session here. But quite an exciting race all the way through qualifying 1, 2, and 3, and through that entire race session was some very exciting battles going all the way through. Vintage gets driver of the day, not too bad of a finish from him there as well. I wonder who got the fastest lap in this one. Let's have a look. So Mercedes takes it for the win. Alright guys, so there we have it. So round 4 currently, I think it is, I didn't even check what it is. So I think it's round 4 here for Slipstream Racing Sunday Division. Glock takes the win there in Mercedes for this current race here, the Dutch Grand Prix. Robbie finishes 2nd place on the podium. Tyler finishes 3rd on the podium. Not a bad position for him. We got Vintage taking 4th. Beefy down to 5th there, because he took penalties for something. I'm not sure what happened with the penalty situation, but that changed up the order a bit. Page taking 6th, Mikey in 7th. We got Droff there in 8th, who also got the fastest lap. And then Smitty taking 9th, Clarky takes 10th, Stubby takes 11th, and the officer driver who finished the race. Vintage finished 4th and got driver today. Not a bad finish for him. Thank you guys once again for joining on this stream here with us. Do join the Discord server, my channel Discord. The link is in the description to have a look on where we're gonna have the next race. I'll have the link up. I'll have the session scheduled on the channel a bit later on this evening, so whenever our next session will be. And do make sure you guys are subscribed to the channel here, and make sure you guys follow us on Twitch and Facebook as well. Thank you guys for joining on. We'll see you guys on the next session.